because these are two teams that we want to see more than just the one time here in this best of 3. We want to see how they do over the course of this entire tournament and whether or not they're going to adapt. It all starts here in game 1.
It really does. Once more into the breach, dear friend. We're going to see if Germany can come out on top against France. They've already defeated one Titan in this tournament. Can they defeat the second? They're going to take the Mimikyu out of the game, and France are going to take the Umbreon in
I'm just saying
return.
right now, Kramer, this is looking like a beautiful Kramer angle. Mimikyu and Zoroark are both gone. Germany, do me proud.
I think that's what they're doing. I think 100% that is the plan. They have seen into the future. They know how much you want to see Cramorant. They're going to do just that. They do take out Ceruledge over on the side of France. So not the
Oh
kind
no,
of
Sword
bans that
Doggo.
we
You
actually
gotta go Sword
expected.
Doggo
Yeah,
here. There's
it's
no,
going to
there's
be,
no
isn't it?
reason not to here from Germany. You let that go through. I mean, you could take Blissey maybe. Ho-Oh is left open. Mamoswine, Hoopa. There are a lot of powerful picks. And this is kind of what I like about being the orange side. Everyone always says, oh, but purple, you get that first pick. But then when there's a lot of powerful picks, you get 2 of them. So France now have
Yeah.
the pick of the litter. They just don't get the Hoopa. And they're kind of going through a lot of these defenders, taking away the Trevenant that's been taking the place of a lot of the perennial defenders beforehand, especially when Umbreon gets banned. And then Mew, surprisingly enough.
Yeah, I'm very surprised at giving the Sword Doggo or even the Blaziken over to the side of Germany. To be honest, I just feel like they are so dominant in this game right now. You've got to take one of them. That gives Gatlu access to the mighty dog in that top lane. And it looks like Daddy Leon's going to lock in the Mamoswine, a very good defender outside of it. I'm surprised the Mew is so early in that pick there.
Me too. That's the only thing for me is how early that got drafted here. I expected it to be maybe in this rotation if you're going to go for it at all. Try to grab something that will kind of fit against your opponents a little bit better. Mew is still pretty nice here against the Zacian, but against the Mamoswine does get a lot of distance. And now that you have a Blastoise and a Trevenant on your side to kind of help defend and peel for this Mew, makes it look a lot more cohesive for France.
This is a really interesting comp coming in here from France. We
Oh,
do have the Absol. I'm very excited on that one. My second favorite one.
yep.
And they've locked in the Dragon Bike. Okay. That's interesting. Of course, Miraidon has had recent nerfs. We don't know if it's still the XEX mon that just dominates games. So we're about to witness that right now, Magical. But what is Utah going to lock in? They're going to take Shifu. They could either go for the red bear or the water bear. Both are going to be quite viable here. Probably going for the secure on that one, I think.
Yeah, if I had to imagine what France want to do here, looking at the composition on the other side, you need to you need to make sure that you're doing a lot more damage to Absol or to Maridon than they're doing to you really quickly. Plus, having that secure, as you were talking about, it's going to be really big for France. But still, I'm looking at the rest of the composition here for France and how they're able to kind of peel around. The Urshifu is going to be, hey, go find something, act more like a speedster, find these assassinations, while the rest of the team is really defending for Mew. Because that is something that has to get a lot of damage out in these fights. Compare that to a Miraidon. Miraidon's damage is a lot easier to get landed on, especially from a large distance.
Yeah, I do feel like I'm edging more towards Germany's side here. I think probably just because from the range point of view, I think the Miraidon beats the Mew, but Mew
Yep.
does a lot more than just range. But I
Mm.
do think that they have more of the advantage there. They have the Absol, so they've got the speed around the map, the maneuverability. Absol is one of those Mons Magical where if you hit your targets, you get your crits, you feel like a god. You feel like the best EX Mon in this game. But if you don't get your crits, it's really difficult, and you could put yourself
I was about to say. I
kind
was
of
about to
out to
say.
sunder. Do you know what I mean? You could be left in the back line, having to try and dash out without doing as much damage as you hoped. But of course, these are pro players, buddy. They're going to get the
Mm.
most out of these mons. I'm edging more towards Germany. I know we're on Gatlu's channel. We try not to be biased. I've never been biased in this tournament in my life, but
Nah, never.
I feel like, yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. I feel like France are obviously just they such a fantastic team. They've worked together so well. The synergies out of the roof, but I don't know. Germany are cooking something here.
Yeah, while Tano might lie to you about being biased about Cass, I'll be very honest with you. If it's not Kramer on a team, I'm neutral as it comes. Because right now, Germany versus France, they have loaded up onto the Thea Sky Ruins, so they are battling it out, looking to see who is going to move on. Facing off in the upper finals would be big for either of these teams, especially for France, to try to reclaim the title back-to-back years.
We do have an invade coming in from the Hooper. They were warding it off. They were prepared. So Indigo's not going to be able to do as much on that as they hoped. Of course, Kung it's very slow at a jungle rotation. You'll always try and take advantage of that. They may be able to lock in the blue buff away from it and lock it away from that evolution. That's what they want to do here. Let's see if they can do, though, because Utah, of course, is pretty good on this mod. We do see the Mew coming in to provide assistance. I think they're probably going to lock that one in. They get the evolution, and we need to see Indigo go back home.
Yeah, Utah getting it. That's going to be big. But the knockout in that top path where Glossifleur just gets jumped on by both what is that? What's Absol? Like a fox? Is that a fox or is that a cat? I actually don't know on Absol.
I feel like cat. It's like a big cat, isn't it? Right? It's got those big talons.
Yeah,
but I tell you what, we don't need to question though, buddy, is the big electric dog out there. There's the dragon bike that just shoots those beams from afar, and it's so difficult for anyone to handle in such early game like this.
Oh, War Turtle stage still playing aggressively there up against the 1v2. Getting a lot more pressure than I expected. So really interesting from Team France that enables them to now contest these Bell Toys, and I think it was secured by them. So it's putting Team Germany on the back foot in this top path.
Oh, nice dive in there with the headbutt. They do have the Elder Gods to provide this distance, and they may be able to get out of there. They haven't even been able to get the sword dance off. They do use the water bomb, but there comes the Psycho Cut. There comes the pursuit. Goodbye, War Turtle. Sent back to that Pokemon Center. We're probably going to see the same with Glossifleur. No, they don't. They don't get the pursuit on the back of that Glossifleur, so they're going to be able to survive that. And we see the pressure coming in. It is single strike. It is that lock-in on the Shifu here, Magical.
Kind of what we were expecting on this one for Team France. And looking at that play, I gotta say, it's going right to what you were talking about with Absol. When you land those crit strikes, when you get the perfect placement, you do a lot of damage really quickly. And Team France, they thought they were safe, but then Absol came out of nowhere, pounced, and now they're trying to pounce into this top path and go for the dive onto the pad. Don't get any points they can at the time being. There is going to be the portal away, but that means that Team France gets some freedom to get a lot of points scored for themselves.
Literal milliseconds on Zacian getting back to home base or getting KO'd there with the Shifu. So I think that is what this game's going to come down to be honest. The milliseconds on who locks in what in these battles. It's really close. 69 points on the board for France. Nice. 19 on the other side for Germany. Let's see what goes on. We've got a Regiseal in the bottom lane. We've got the Absol there. A lot of damage. They're trying to zone out this Shifu, but I don't think they're going to be able to. They've got the lock-in. We have to use the Unite to do it, but it's Trevenant that does it instead. Locking in the Regiseal for France. That's a huge pickup.
A huge pickup. And for Team Germany, you got to feel real bad on that. You thought you had the secure. Pilliswine did a lot of work to keep them from entering the pit for as long as possible, but wasn't enough. You only imagine had it been a little bit later and you were actually Mammothswine, would have been able to buy a little bit extra time so Team Germany could have actually gotten themselves that objective.
It's the difficulty of that mon, right? It takes a lot to get there, but it's not difficult for Shifu to lock in KOs like that one. Woo! Goodbye, Mariah. They take down the Absol as well. Shifu cleaning up Germany at the moment, but they're going to have to back away. Zacian putting some good defense onto the pad. It's not enough because France have got all 5 mons here, and they are putting up an absolute dominance in this bottom lane. Goodbye, T1.
The hyperspeed highway has been opened up, and Germany are trying to see if they can be a step ahead of France because they are falling behind at this point. France are doing so much more proactively, getting these dunks and getting that top pad almost deleted. Just going to go in and eliminate it, so it's a lot easier for them to rotate towards Regieleki with the Surf onto Pilliswine and drag him back in. Just needs one more bit of damage, but now that's a nice use of the Unite from Blastoise. It was secured, actually. Regieleki was stolen away by Absol, but then the Urshifu punched to the face to make sure they can turn it around. Even if Regieleki will start slowly pushing back, helping out Germany, it is France that are coming out on top.
Yeah, it seems like Germany managed to lock in at least some advantage, but then France just do more coming into these fights, into these objectives. That Absol using the Midnight Slash to try and stop that Hydro Typhoon from stunning them, locking in that Lecky was huge, but yet France managed to secure the KOs. They defended the Lecky, so they've actually come out of that with more in an advantage, Magical, and that's what's going on in this game right now.
That's why Germany are kind of grasping at straws at this point. They're hoping they can get anything. They've gone down to Regice because they need one of these objectives to be useful. They secure themselves the objective, and they even get a little bit of a dash back, but Absol needs to get back into the party because that's going to be the Phantom Force getting a lot of damage and followed up with the Meteor striking down.
Yeah, really good lock in. Of course, that is what the Miraidon does. And France are just going to continue to defend that goal. They're going to grab the XP from the mid area, and it just seems like they can't take them down over on the side of Germany. Of course, Blastoise going on in. They use the Surf to get themselves away. Eldegoss there to provide the healing. It seems like France want to continue putting pressure onto Germany here, but they're a bit cautious about it with the amount of Germany that are sat in that jungle prepared to get a KO.
Well, you kind of have to when you look at the compositions drafted for each team. And this is really when we're going to see both sides, I think, at their strongest. You have Absol at level 12, the speedster that is looking for someone who's lower level, like a Mew, like an Eldegoss, to be able to jump on top of. You're even getting your Zacian and Miraidon to higher spikes, too. So they're going to be all important. While the other side, France can rely on this Urshifu, who's going to be a terror here in these later game fights. If he gets picked out, it's going to be disastrous for them. But as long as they can make sure that he is diving into the backline on a Miraidon while they're not losing out on Mew, France have a good angle for these fights. But they got to be careful because they're losing so much in the spot path. Another Unite forced out. That Hydro Typhoon did nothing but delay.
I gotta say though, I love the decision from France to go score those goals in the T2. They saw that T1 was going to get broken. They saw the rings were left unbound. Everyone went down there. Now they've put themselves, everything that's been scored by Germany was scored by France in that T2, buddy. They've kept themselves in the lead. They could really push on into this. It feels like coming down to this Rayquaza battle in about 50 seconds. France are still going to feel like they are having the advantage due to those points scored. Huge.
Interesting. They open up the hyperspeed highway to get into the bot path right here, letting Regieleki get the crash in because they want the fight at Registeel. 30 seconds left until Rayquaza spawn, getting these additional resistances. Germany making the call for the late game team fights, knowing that that's going to be the important part. They're going to secure that and look to see if they can re-enter the fray. But it's going to be the Ice Fang on a Blastoise. Pretty tanky. Surf back drags in him, and look at how many are just dragged across, mopping the floor, but nobody falls just yet, despite how low they got. Another hyperspace highway hole taken away. So everyone's going to start healing up, waiting the 10 seconds out for Rayquaza.
I understand the thought process going into Germany there. They do have to win this Rayquaza fight. It's the only way they're going to win this battle. So they wanted to get that buff. They wanted to go into this feeling stronger. So I understand that. I just feel like they're going up against a really strong, aggressive France team that are feeling even more confident with more of a lead that they've got. We're just waiting to see where the engage is. They do try and pick up the Absol. They use the Midnight Slash, but they're not able to lock in anyone. So that's a huge Unite move not to have right now, Magical. They've got the rings unbound. Can they take down the boosted? Takes down the Hooper. The Surf to push the Mamoswine away. And the Absol comes on back, of course. There's the Cotton Crowd Clash that's going to protect the Mons on the side. And the Hydra Typhoon doesn't lock in anyone for a KO just yet. 36 points in that top goal, but Mew is there to beam them away. France are taking control of this battle right now, Magical. Germany have to come out with something.
5 seconds left until Mamoswine is back up. France still can take control of the Rayquaza, but they got to do it fast because the rest of Germany are nearby, and they are definitely going to go for another Hail Mary, take themselves this objective. That is why France have all gathered, waiting to see if they can bait it out. But now that Rayquaza kind of is helping out the side of Germany, they have to kind of peel back and see what is the best angle. Urshifu's in the top path. Leechhorn on to Zacian. The tree to lock down the dog, and the dog is out of there. No longer have that in the fight. Even if they get locked down onto Eldegoss, she was able to survive while they look for the tree. He takes the hyperspace highway away. Ice Fang. There goes the mammoth, now extinct. And this is France cleaning up this fight. Perfect time to make sure they can take the 1-0 lead here against Germany. Show that they are the dominant team. This is why they are the team to fear in the United European Cup.
They're just so confident in everything that they do. They didn't have any Unite moves left in Germany coming into that one. The Sovereign Sword, the Doggo was down. Absol, of course, still has seconds before they spawn. A nice 62 dunk going in there by Hooper. And they pop the rings unbound to try and break that pad. They know that the only way they win this is by scoring points. But unfortunately, they've just backed them up to their home base at the side of France. Nobody can get out, Magical. France taking the one over Germany for this first game.
And it was definitely looking a little dicey there at the end. Like there's a possibility for Germany to get back into the game, but France were very strong in their defense of the objective, knowing that they had the lead. There's no reason for them to risk a flip at Rayquaza. And all they had to do was force fights out of Germany. And that's why this team has been such a dominant team, not only here in the Unity European Cup 2024, but in past years and even looking towards competitive play.
Rightly so. And I gotta say, what a way that France play together. The synergy between their teams, amazing. But it's nice to see it from Germany as well. Of course, every game has been 2-0 on cast
Mhm.
today. Will we see a game free situation? Germany need to work something out. They need to come up with some sort of solution. I feel like the goals were taken away from them quickly in this by France. So they took away the rotations that Hooper provides quite quickly. Um, I don't know. I don't know how Germany come back into this one because they were pretty dominant with France.
I think the big thing we kind of look at how this composition wants to run, and it's get Absol ahead early and snowball out of
Mhm.
control. And the Absol was kind of scary, but like almost like when you go to a haunted house that's set up by like a kid's school, and they have like the jump scares that kind of go, oh, that was good, nicely done. That's kind of how
Yeah.
the Absol was in that game. It was like, you got me a little bit. Good job.
You know what? What a good metaphor. I like that. I'm bored with that one. Yeah. What do they do though to make that scarier? Put a mask on it? I don't know. Let's find out though, because we're going into the game two situation. Are we going to have any difference in these bans? I don't expect
Oh.
so. Maybe. No, I think we're going to get the same here.
I think so too. I think that both teams kind of read the plays as there wasn't anything inherently wrong with the draft. It's just how they played some of the fights that I think really started going awry for Germany. Not playing as aggressively early on, especially around how they can play with Absol. I think banning away Urshifu is also a good call. The Zoroark, while yes, is annoying to deal with, especially if you go for the Zoroark Comfey comp that we saw earlier today. I think that just Urshifu in general is a better ban to take away.
Yeah, I agree. Both movesets on Shifu are very strong in this meta right
Mhm.
now. So I love that. I think that's a great pickup. Of course, taking the Mimikyu away is also interesting. We have a lot of all
Ooh.
rounders banned out right now. They're going to lock in that Trevenant first. Interesting first pick that now allows France to take two meta mons.
Hoopa being one of them. So it's the trade, right? It's which ones do you want to trade out? You only get the one when you're on purple, but you can get two when you're on orange. And Hoopa, ho-oh. France getting a very strong front line as well. A very difficult team to actually remove from the map.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, that core team that they've selected on France is really good. Now they just need to pick some sort of all rounders, some sort of range. And there's so many all rounders and range in this game that work so
Gatlu.
well that there's so many that you can go for. Gatlu may, ooh,
Gatlu.
easy
Gatlu.
night
The
error there, but
Confei
no,
Zoroark. We were just talking about it, Tano.
we're going to take this one back. And it's Germany doing it in this game. We saw how dominant it was previously. Can they do it against France?
That's going to be the big question here, especially when you don't know what the back line for France is. Now it's Mewtwo why you see that something a little bit susceptible, but Ho-Oh not
Ooh.
so much, even Hoopa not so much. And then Utao taken away Absol, saying, all right, we'll see your speedster and play our own in this one. I'm looking now at Germany as to what they could possibly answer, what can move around the map a lot. And that Dodrio, I talked about it earlier, is something they can go for, something really spicy. They do it.
Wow. Gatlu let loose on the Dodrio.
Let's
That
go.
mate, this is such an interesting comp from Germany. I love it. They're gonna feel so confident on this. They know that they need to come out and win this game. Otherwise, they are going to be going down into that
Ooh.
losers bracket. They do lock in the Zero Aura over on France, though. Utah, Hog Rider. We have double speedsters on both sides, Magical. Why do we get the best games to cast? I love this.
I absolutely adore this. And, you know, maybe Gatlu is a man of the people and giving them what they want with Dodrio. But France answer in kind to say, Viva la France, and let's go for the double speedster ourselves. This is going to be such a hype match. There's going to be so much chaos early on. I am so excited to see how these two teams are going to approach it. I look at Germany's, and yes, the Zoroark Comfey comp kind of needs a little bit of gas in the tank if they want to get rolling. But I still think that all you have to do is play around some of these early fights, and Team Germany can just get out to the races, be unstoppable. While say obviously same is going to be said for France. When you have double speedster, is really who get those first knockouts. Which team are getting the first to 5? That team is going to be the one that wins.
I Are we gonna see? I mean, obviously, discharge is used the most on Zera Aura. That's the move that everybody goes for. That's kind of the meta move if you are gonna play that mon. I love wild charge though, and if we had a wild charge game here, magical, it would make me so happy. You are obviously dealing with a Dodrio that's going to be dashing about left, right, and center. They have the Comfy as well that's going to be paired on it. You've obviously got the Zoroark. I don't know. I like the idea of wild charge going into this.
I think it will really depend on how this early game goes for both teams, because I could see a world where wild charge could work in some of these fights. Like I said, discharge is usually the go-to, but imagine you want even more mobility and you want to make sure that you just have that a couple extra seconds where you're not easily targetable, right? Just a couple extra seconds, especially against two things that do an insane amount of damage, like a Zoroark and like a Dodrio. It could actually be the call here.
Let's find out, because we've got some very exciting speedsters in this game. It's the role that I play the most, so I'm excited. We're gonna have an evolution early on this Doduo if they can at least get some more damage, some more XP in. But it seems like U2Y just wants to have a field day against them. Ho-Ho is so tough to lane against as well, and Absol's already here. They want to get in on this. The Zoru hasn't managed to get anything. They've been KO'd.
Oh my goodness!
These Evos. Oh my god!
Catlu doing a great job, but the Flames finally keep him at bay. Did so much to kill time in this bot path. Utao was trying to dunk the 21 for so long. Props out to Team Germany's bot lane. Playing it was only Doduo with Comfey, but still delaying so much. So now, hot path we go. Team Germany are starting to die. They're the ones starting to get these points dunked in.
Ooh. Oh, wow. Look at the Absol coming on down. They're going to take down Zoroark. And it's the speedster domination in the top lane from France. Dodrio with the tri-attack. They're going to take down Zeraora. It's the KO. They take down the Phantom as well. Did the Mewtwo. Why? I mean, one time we get a KO from France. We get 2 more coming in from Germany. But these speedsters already, we're at 8 minutes. And it's just crazy chaos drama in this game. Gatlu trying to lock in another KO. Take down U2Y. Can they take down Hooper? They've got the XP, buddy. New all the way. They're trying to Zeraora. This is crazy from Germany. Look at the aggression. It's working a treat right now.
That's the Roadrunner right there that I used to watch back in the day with Looney Tunes. You can't stop the bands right there. Gatlu looking so good, but now they're fighting in the jungle and taking the knockouts on the Absol. Team Germany utilizing the double speedster comp, and now they are snowballing.
Just a matter of who gets their Unite moves up, who gets these levels more. We've got 8 on Absol, we've got 8 on Zoroark. Gatlu cleaning up the Hooper here. They've got the tri-attack. They've got the jump kick. Goodbye,
that's 4.
Hooper. Such a cleanup for Dodrio, and they've hit level 8 as well. Crazy. 5 points between these teams right now, Magical.
Dono, I said whichever of these speedsters gets the 5 knockouts first is going to be the team that wins. I think it's 4 right there. Have been picked up by Gatlu. This is where we gotta watch. I think that you can't stop these birds. They're trampling all over the map.
That they are. U2Y trying to put some pressure into the side of Germany, but look at Gatlu. This is illegal, buddy. You're going to end up going to Unite jail if you continue committing these war crimes. They're in the back line of France. We're literally at 6 minutes 40, buddy, and he's all the way down near the home pad.
Now I get what Gatlu's been doing this whole time. It was sandbagging game 1, making it look close on the stream so he could bust out the Dodrio and say, this is how we roll. This is the comeback. We're going to get this reverse sweep here and move on in the upper finals, because he is looking unstoppable on these triple birds here. Still diving, getting more knockouts on a U2Y, but maybe overcommitting this time. Finally gets knocked down. And that was the hubris playing against him, while Team Germany still trying to battle back the best they can. They now have the Zoroark. That's the insurance policy, baby. Starting to dive into the back line. No rekindling flame. There it is. Going to be able to bring some back, but it's only the Hoopa. So you're locked out on one, while Comfey and Zoroark did make their escape with Mew. They'll survive and not get knocked out until they actually dive, because the overcommitment was nearly there, but dashing away. Beautifully played by France.
I gotta say, this game is so exciting. It keeps going like a pendulum. And the thing is, Germany felt so strong that they may have committed too much and given so much XP to the side of France. This is the issue with playing as a team and dominating a game. You get overconfident and it can really put you under pressure, because you just end up giving KOs over to the side of France, buddy.
Wait a minute. I just realized this truly is the Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner game, because we have Zoroark and we have Dodrio on the same team.
Mm-hmm.
So wait, and they're both competing with one another for who's going to be the better speedster in this one. So is it Wile E. Coyote or is it the Roadrunner? That's going to be the big question. But they both got to escape away from a cat that's prowling, getting the knockout there. Well, Dodrio has made their escape back towards the top pad that's still there, a root, but 4 members strong, one of them being a speedster, nearly was able to dive into the back line. Well, whoo, that Mewtwo got close to death.
Yeah, I mean, it was like a glitch on my screen, and all of a sudden they were nearly KO'd. They've broken the pad, though. France are giving themselves a lead. They're over 100 points ahead. Gatlu has got the sights on this Absol. They've got the tri-attack. They have to use the Comfey to keep Gatlu running, and they need to utilize that, because they do manage to get away with the tri-attack, but the mystical damage coming in from the Absol wasn't enough. They lock in the Lecky on the side of Germany, buddy. These fights are just becoming insane to cast. It is non-stop action from the get-go here in this game.
They ain't done. They keep battling, and now that Ho-Oh goes into the bot path, that top pad is going to be in danger. Regieleki is pushing, and so is Team Germany. They're looking for the play with the rings unbound, looking for any damage. They get one down, and that's the Zoroark. They got rid of both Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner, and also got rid of the Acme product to boot.
Absol saying, nah, I'm the speedster god now. Look at me, I'm the speedster now. Quadra coming out of Absol. Fantastic play from Utah, and France are managing to keep themselves just in the lead in this one. This is going to be the Rayquaza battle for the ages as we come into it, Magical. It's 14 over on the side of that Absol.
Well, the problem is going to be, how do you stop the Absol that's level 14 when you have both your speedsters down 2 or 3 levels to it? Team France, they were silently in the background, making sure that this Absol was getting fed. The kitty cat was becoming a tiger and is ready to rip apart Germany.
It's going to be so interesting, because the first speedster to be picked off is really going to give the advantage to the other team. And I don't know, because Zeraora has to go in, drop that discharge, and then drop on out. Whereas the other speedsters are really, other than maybe the Dodrio, are just going to have to engage and really put that damage on down. We have 45 seconds away from the Rayquaza fight. We have continued battling going on in this midsection right now. There's no farm except each other. Absol going on in on the Comfey, but they do manage to get onto the Zoroark to prevent them. We've got the Mega Evolution onto the Mewtwo. Why? They can drop a huge amount of damage on. They take out the Zoroark with the Absol. They take down the tree. They've got... Is that another triple? Ooh, the Mewtwo Y taken away from the Absol, but they are not going to be unhappy with that one, buddy. 20 seconds out. More XP for them. Level 15 Absol.
With Registeel too, they're going to grab these extra resistances, make it that much more difficult for Team Germany to assassinate the back line. Team France, they have been fighting tooth and nail, the double speedsters on each side, but it is them that are coming out with the advantages. Level 15 on the Absol. That's who we got to watch.
Oh, I don't know about this one, buddy, because this game is ridiculously close. They've got Dodrio that can backcap. They've got so much going on in. There's a discharge, though. Zeraora goes on down. Are they going to pick up the Mewtwo? Why? The Zoroark has gone down instead. They've taken the Comfey. It's Absol all day long. Trevenant, they've rekindled the flame, and it seems like they're just going to push on in. It's just Dodrio. Ooh, baby, a Quadra. Gatlu has to pull off a miracle out here, but I don't think it's going to be enough. It's been stunned, buddy. It's France. It's Absol. That is the answer to these speedsters. They're going to be able to take this win unless Germany can put on a defense and take these shields. I don't think they're going to be able to,
No
Magical.
way.
What a fight that was.
No way can they. Once you saw that it was a level 15 Absol and you were still only level 13 for Dodrio and for Zoroark, you knew the fight was pretty much impossible. They had the pick onto Zoroark. Nice. But Absol's truly the terror you have to deal with. There is this moment, though. They have gotten a couple of these knockouts, and keep in mind, there's 50 seconds left on the clock. There are a lot of points. If they can get knockouts at this stage, this is late into the game, and that is a deep pad that is still available for them to get the double points on. They got the knockout. That's big. They can get this Absol as well. 1v4. I don't know if you can do this by yourself. They just might have dragged this game back out of nowhere.
I think they might be able to do this one, buddy. That's going to be it. 3:14. They've got 25 seconds. We've got the Zora Aura up. They've got the discharge, though. That's going to stop some scoring. 6-6-3, though. Hooper managing to score those points. It's going to be too much for them, buddy. Germany can't overcome this one. They could have just given the goal away to France, but they defended it. They've got 386. We have 10 seconds left. Keep an eye on that. 78 going in by the Hooper. I think France have done the defense. The 50 points going in, but they can't do it. The Hooper with a triple KO to defend it. France are going to take this through.
Yeah, I think it's just enough points for France to stay on top. Germany fighting valiantly throughout the last stage of that game. Like, look at this. We knew that was going to be the case. Had they gotten that 50 from Zoroark, it still wouldn't have been enough. They needed to have a better fight around Rayquaza. They needed the pick onto Utao earlier in the game if they wanted to take this victory and get us to game 3. But props to them for making it so entertaining. Double speedsters from each side. Germany are not out of this tournament. They do get knocked down to the lower bracket, but I expect we'll be seeing a lot of them.
I have. That has been my favorite game in this tournament so far. But France have still yet to drop a single game in this tournament, Magical. Germany were probably going to be the Titans that could do it, but that came down to the wire. France managing to defend against Germany means they get yet again another 2-0. What a joy that one was, buddy. I'm kind of speechless. I've got a cast tomorrow with yourselves, and I'm kind of losing my voice after that one.
You're starting to go down the route where I am, where the voice is kind of lost. But, man, it's always fun when you have casts like this that make the games really exciting, so close, back and forth. And even having just the interesting picks in this game that make it all the more entertaining. So it wasn't just you have kind of out of left field picks with the double speedsters on each side, but they both played well with those two. That's the big thing. Early game looks so good from Gatlu and how he was pathing with the Dodrio, getting these early knockouts. But silently in the background, Utah was just farming up, finding these last knockouts, seeing the stragglers saying, all right, I'm going to get myself fed slowly but surely too. So when there was the all-out brawl, nobody paid attention to the cat. The cat had waited in the shadows and knew it was time to strike.
Yeah, wow. Hitting that level sort of 15 coming into a Rayquaza fight is just impressive anyway. Do you know what I mean? And being able to clean that one up, it was really exciting battling. That was I mean, I don't know how we're going to beat that game, but what we are going to do is we're going to have an interview with one of the players. It's going to be Utah themselves. And I'm really excited for this interview because, wow, what a play that was.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this one as well. Just kind of talk with them and go through how that series was. So, Utah, welcome into the stream. Walk
Hello,
us through
guys.
how it feels, especially in a game 2 scenario, deciding factor to move on to the upper finals. That you see there's a Dodrio and a Zoroark. So you go, all right, we're going double speedster too.
Yeah, I mean, we like when we saw like they're gonna ban like Mimi and like Urshi, we know that they're gonna play like Zoro Comfy. So like we managed to like draft around it. So that's why I play like Absol with the I forgot the spell, but
Play like
yeah,
Absol. Man's just playing
yeah,
the most insane game of Absol I've witnessed in my life.
yeah,
Was so
yeah. That's why I play Sucker Punch. That's the spell.
such a good counter. But what I want to ask though, Utah, obviously France have been so dominant coming into this tournament. You haven't lost a game yet. You've 2-0'd everyone that you're coming up against. Nobody has managed to get over the mountain that is France. How does that feel as a team? Do you come into sets feeling like we want to make sure we 2-0 this again, or do you really take each game as it comes?
Yeah, I think we always want to like tour like every team that we face. Like we always want to do like better than like last year. So yeah,
Mm.
that's why we wanted to do like always like better and better
Well,
every time.
see, that's the question. How can you do better than winning it all from last year in this one? Like, what is in your mind if your idea of doing like this is just a genuine one too? Is like, what for you guys would be doing better than already having won?
I think is like playing playing with friends, have a good mood. Everyone is like enjoying playing. We're just like hanging around. Like yeah,
I like
we're
that.
just like
I
chilling.
like that. That's a good
Mm.
answer because a lot of people, they get really serious. I mean, it's competitive. You want to take it seriously, but
Yeah,
people
yeah.
also
But like
forget that
yeah,
you're like your homies. You wanna have fun still at the same time, right?
yeah, for sure. Always.
So, obviously, you've played quite a few games. You've gone up against Germany. What do you think has been the most difficult mon for you to handle as a team in this set?
Um, I think, yeah, I think it was like the Miraidon. I don't know. I even
Mm.
like even if it's like nerf or something, it's like
Yeah.
quite annoying with the range. I mean, for sure, like the second game, I think is like it was like the double speeders was like quite annoying, but I think overall we were like fine. But I think yeah, Miraidon. I think.
Mm, I think that's valid. It's I think that's the one that everybody's feeling is just so frustrating to deal with. But yeah, I mean, well done, Utah. Obviously, you are taking that 2-0 over Germany. You're going to continue in up the bracket, I believe, going up against Team
Switzerland.
Switzerland. Did you obviously you're going up against Team Switzerland? How confident are you feeling coming into that? Or are you thinking we need to be cautious here?
No, I think we're gonna be fine. We just need to play. We just need to play our game. We just need to. We're chilling.
So now the other question is looking at how the teams that we have remaining. Which team do you think you have the most fear of facing off against? Like,
Mm.
which team is a team that you're like, this team not enough people are respecting, and we are expecting that if we play them, it could be a close match.
Um, maybe Team Italy, but I think like we are not scared of any teams. We're just like
Ooh.
we're
I
just
like
we're just coming here and like play. I don't think we're like scared of any team. So yeah,
Fair.
we're not scared.
Valid. That's what we like to hear. Hey, listen, Utah, you've been amazing. It's been an absolute joy getting to cast your team. We're excited to do it again. It's been so much fun watching you play. So, congratulations to your team. Congratulations on getting the win over Germany on that one and progressing on through to the winners final. That must feel really good.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you.
That was fun. It's always fun having interviews with the players, kind of getting into their minds and think how they think with all of this, right, Tano? But we got to look at what is our future here. As we already said, France will be facing off against Switzerland in that upper finals, but it's the lower bracket that we have to look at because that's where the eliminations are. Italy will have a chance to get revenge up against Germany, while UK and Unity Country, they're going to face off against each other for the first time, I believe.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that one, buddy. We were talking about teams that France was scared of. Well, I think Unity Country is probably going to be one of the ones that UK might be because they have been so dominant. But it was a really impressive showing from the UK today. So I will always hold out hope it will be coming home. It's either home or Rome because Italy really do want to get that revenge against Germany.
It will be a very exciting day, and we have more action here for the Unity European Cup 2024 tomorrow that we'll be able to bring to you guys. This is all brought to you by Unity Clash and sponsored by Nouns Esports. Thanks to both of them that allow us to bring these awesome games to your screens.
Yeah, we'll be covering the loser semi-finals, the finals, the loser finals, and the grand finals. Finals has now lost its meaning as a word. On the 3rd of
It's no, no,
November,
no. It's like the project when you're in school. You're just like final, final one, final two, final three, real final one. That's what it's like.
proper final.
Yeah,
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 that
yeah.
is going to be on the 3rd of November, which I believe is Sunday, 6
Sunday, Sunday,
p.m.
Sunday.
CET. We're going to have the one and only Zoinks as our analyst, and we will have a special guest that'll be joining us as well. So you don't want to miss that one. Keep an eye on the Gatlu stream. Huge shout out to 19 Sports and a huge shout out to the team, the production in the background. The casters, Spartan Tano is myself, Magical here, and we had Night Terror as well, providing us a lot of casting. Amazing to cast alongside you guys. I absolutely love it every time I do it. So I can't give enough praise to this team. Unity is just incredible. Shout out to our reservers and cameraman in the background, Akemi. Shout out to our admins, Sam, Leo, Charmy, and Marlene. And a shout out to all of you guys, the players, the viewers, really engaging in this tournament and just showing us this amazing support that we have from you all. It's next level. Everybody is just over the moon with it. And
And
I
sorry
think the
you all
biggest,
lost all your points by not betting on Switzerland.
sorry that you lost them all, but I think the biggest shout out has to go on over to our producer, event director, Unity Clash head, Shivam. It would not be possible doing all this without them. They're amazing. Huge shout out to them. And yeah, I mean, everybody gets a shout out. You get a shout out. You get a shout out. Everybody gets a shout out. We love you all.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah. Don't forget about the merch that we have here for Now Into Esports that you can check out. You can get 10% off by using code UNITE if you go there. They have awesome shirts, jerseys. They have some nice hoodies, and the mugs are really cool as well.
they are. They are. So yeah, give that one a go. That is going to be it from us today. I mean, what more could we possibly do? That was such an exciting tournament, such an exciting battle. I've been Spartan Tano. This has been my good old buddy, Mad Magical. We will be back with you for more action tomorrow. Have a good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, chat. We'll catch you on the next one.